Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Tony Harvin, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Tony Harvin Network. And we back with another story. We back with another news story on another so-called pastor who has been arrested, as y'all can see on the screen. And do remember, I can't say certain words here on YouTube because YouTube might pick it up and flag the video or flag the channel. But another one has been caught and arrested, as y'all can see him on the screen. 53-year-old Anthony Dusso. Now, this story comes out of Illinois / Wisconsin because it's on the border in South Beloit, Wisconsin. In Beloit, Illinois also is on the borderline, as y'all can see on the screen for the most part. All right, so it says Beloit pastor arrested on child charges. South Beloit police say, as y'all can see him on the screen, Anthony Dusso, 53 years of age. 53 years of age, downloading and watching kids do the nasty. Sick man. As y'all can see him on the screen, a so-called pastor. Right? So according to the story, it says Anthony Dusso, 53 years old, of South Beloit, faces 4 Class X counts of dissemination of child under 13 and 2 Class 1 counts of dissemination of child under 18. As we scroll down to the story, look at him. Look at this punk right here. Look at this creep. A so-called preacher, right? You downloading kids, doing the nasty. I mean, look at him. Filthy, nasty, creep, a bozo, a bimbo, a clown. I hope the people that's in that jail watch this. You got to watch out for creeps like this. 53 years old. You're 53. 53. What does a 53-year-old man got in common with downloading children doing the nasty? And who's putting up this stuff? Who's allowing this stuff? You as a so-called preacher, you're supposed to be wanting to get this stuff off of the internet, not watching it to fulfill your wicked fantasies or whatever the case may be. Your filthy self. Huh? Here we go. So, according to the news story, and this just happened recently, but furthermore, it says in December 2024, South Beloit police say they got a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children about a social media account that was believed to be distributing child. A social media account caught, detected, to be downloading children, doing the nasty. You got filthy people out here sharing videos like that. You understand? And this is what he was doing. Okay, it says while investigating, police identified Dusso as a suspect. On Thursday, March the 13th, detectives say they searched Dusso's home and took multiple electronic devices into evidence. Dusso was arrested and is being detained in the Winnebago County Jail. A so-called preacher, right? It says Our Savior's Lutheran Church in Beloit, Wisconsin, lists Dusso as its senior pastor. Now, I went to that website. Which is right here. Our Savior's Lutheran Church. Now, as I went to their website, and we're going to check it out right quick, it says who we are. I went to our staff, right? And they took him off. Now they got this lady right here, Jean Lincoln, a woman. Lay pastoral assistant. Now, I never heard of that title. You understand? So they took him off, or whatever the case may be. And what I do when I do these type of stories is I normally, if I can send it to their church, or their family members or their friends. I will send the link to them. You understand? About 50 things like this. I also went to their Facebook page. Here it is right here. You understand? Here it is right here. You know, time and time again, I tell you, man, watch out for these creeps. Watch out for them. You know, because they could smile and they could so-called preach the word of the Lord and things like that. But behind the scenes, you downloading kids do the nasty? Really? Sick man right here. How you so-called preaching the word in the pulpit, then behind the scenes when you finish, you go in the back or you go in your car, wherever you go, you downloading this stuff off a social media account? You sneak it and you making a social media account, or if it's yours in general, and you downloading this stuff. How long have you been doing it? Don't say, oh, well, it's my first time. Normally, you know, when I watch the show, How to Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen, when they get caught, they say, this is my first time. This is my first time. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Listen, me personally, I don't think it's an overnight thing with these fellas. I think a lot of these fellas, a high percentage of these fellas started long ago. And they just happened to get away with a lot of stuff. But they happened to get caught that time. And they be like, oh, well, this is my first time ever being caught. This is my first time ever doing something like this. I don't know what I was thinking. Yes, you do know what you was thinking. Oh, yes, you did know. You knew what you was downloading. You knew that. You knew you was trying to fulfill your wicked fantasies by watching kids do the nasty. You knew that. You knew that. And according to, I think it might have been your daughter's Facebook page or your son's, you got kids. Wow. How embarrassing it is to them. Now, I'm not going to show their social media accounts, whatever the case may be, due to YouTube privacy. You understand? Imagine how they feel. I hope they hear this, because I'm going to send it to some people at that church. You know what I mean? I'm a ram it in their face. Look at this. This is the fella who y'all had in the pulpit. This is the fella that y'all trusted with the word of the Lord. This is the fella y'all trusted around your kids. You don't know what this man was thinking when he was in the pulpit looking at your kids. You don't know. You understand? But it's a good thing that the police, caught this devil. You understand? A wicked mind. You so-called preaching the word of the Lord. In the back of your mind, you can't wait to go watch kids do the nasty. Good work by the police out there. Good work. Good work. You understand? Like I always say, with fellas like this, I put in my hashtag, listen, judge, give him life. Why? Because you don't know how long these fellas been doing this. You don't know how long. 53 years old? You're 53. You are 53 years old looking at kids do the nasty. 53. You're an old grown man. Did that even sound right? You a grown man looking at kids. This is crazy. And you supposed to be doing the work of the Lord. Now, where we learn at, we don't acknowledge the Lutheran Church to be, 100% in tune with the word of the Lord, because y'all got different beliefs and stuff like that. But calling yourself a pastor with that wicked behavior, Let me know what y'all think about this video. You understand? We're going to have more stories. I can guarantee you that. More stories to be exposing these so-called preachers who's touching on kids, who's stealing church money, who's downloading kids do the nasty, or whatever the case may be. We're going to continue to put it on our platform to expose them. You understand? If y'all got if it's any stories that I may have missed of a preacher getting arrested for any type of crime, it just so happened these so-called pastors, a lot of them get arrested for stuff like this. A lot of them have wicked and filthy minds, just like this fella right here. I mean, look at him. Look at him. Take a good look at this devil right here. You ain't no preacher. You ain't no preacher. You understand that? And I don't think you never was. You understand? Listen, judge, if you're listening, give him life. Listen, just give him life. Don't even go to trial. If y'all got the evidence right there on his computers, on his devices, right there, throw the book at him. You understand? Of course, like I said, people could be forgiven, people could change, whatever the case may be. But that's not going to matter with the judges, with the prosecutors, or whatever the case may be. You do the crime, you're going to have to do the time. You understand? I'm Tony Harvin. Let me know what y'all think about this video, or whatever the case may be. I'm signing off. Peace.